So Corey Maggette, all right, Corey, we got here because of that Game 4.
Usually around this time that the final 2 or 3 games it's like a throwaway game.
Right.
Because you know that all the teams have been solidified. But when you look at what's happening from 7 through 10, there's a big thing that's happening. And so it's good for the NBA, especially the caliber players that you get to see from 7 through 10. You know, you got future Hall of Famers, big-time guys. You know, if it's Kevin Durant or LeBron James or Stephen Curry, like you have a list of guys going into, you know, this last game on the 14th.
It is health. Health is wealth with this team as far as with Kawhi Leonard. And everyone knows when Kawhi is able to play, he is very dominant. When I look at the stats for Kawhi Leonard, he's averaging 24 points a game, 6 rebounds. But the most impressive stat when I look at his stats for Kawhi is shooting 45% from 3. So throughout the last 3 years of Kawhi Leonard being better and being as detailed as possible, he wanted to tweak certain things in his game to be better. And when you look at that, it has really become from the three-point position. And that's what teams want. Teams want to shoot more threes. Coach Ty Lue wants his team to shoot more threes, but he's able to shoot it more efficiently when he shoots the basketball.
Yeah,
former players that are in the position to coach this type of team and these type of players with future Hall of Famers, and you both have said it, this has been an amazing series to watch some of the most dynamic players play their best. But Kyrie is so patient through the game that you cannot relax when the show is all about Luka and the way that Luka plays. And that's what tends to happen. You forget about him for a second, and then he can run off and score the next 9 or 10 points.
It is amazing to see. We all got to remember that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was here.
Yeah, we remember
Jerry West,
that. Yeah, we remember.
You know, the brain trust knew that this guy would be special.
Yep.
And he has. And, you know, when I'm looking at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, one of the main things that he's averaging over 30 points a game, which is astounding to me over the last few years. But the other thing about it for this game tonight with Shai, he's fourth in the entire NBA and the best players in getting to the paint. About 15 points a game that he gets to the paint. So you have to be aware of Shai because of that special ability to get to the paint. But he is definitely such a dominant player that you cannot take him for granted. Now, when Draymond Green is able to play like Draymond Green defensively, and Steph Curry is able to play his way, and now you're bringing in some young athletic talent in Jonathan Kuminga, they're still a very dangerous team. And that's where, when you look at the standings, if Golden State can get to that 8th spot, who really wants to be number 1 versus 8? So that's what it's a huge matchup.
Yeah.
This has all been building for PG. Remember what happened in Phoenix back during the playoffs where he had to really single-handedly take the team on himself. And that really has given PG so much maturity when it comes to, hey, it's up to you. We need you to handle this. We need you to take care of business. We need you to be the star. And multiple times we've seen over the course of these last 3 years that PG is very capable of being the main guy to take out the offensive firepower. So all of those plays during this game, this was definitely a collective effort by your team. And the one thing first, I want to give credit to Dan Craig and Brian Shaw, the entire staff there, that continue to let this engine flow the right way. And that's the purpose of Ty Lue saying that, hey, this is the reason why Dan Craig is my associate head coach. This is the reason why his lead assistant is Brian Shaw, who played in the league for over a decade. So those players, from that perspective, they know the game. And they were able to come out with the right game plan to help get this team a win.
I felt like, for me, I wouldn't say call out the players, but it was more what we're watching and what we expect from this team and what they can bring, and even the coaches expect it. And I just love the response from this team. They responded the right way. And the only way you respond the right way is if you have perseverance. And with these two guys, James Harden has been sensational the entire series. But because of Paul George's foul trouble, we haven't been able to see the greatness that we know that PG has as a player. But we did the previous game where he lit him up for 33 points as well as James Harden. And to hit multiple shots late in the game, I love this team's fight. I love this team's disposition, as Don would say, and this is without Kawhi. And so when you need your players to step up, you have 2 Supermans on your team, but you have a great supporting cast, and they're stepping up to the plate to get the job done. That's why we're in a position right now that is 2-2 in the series.